guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Tank Group today, and today we're doing, well, boys and girls, I'm glad you asked, because today we're back on World Tanks Console, that's right. And today we're doing a tank review of the T32-A Proto. That's right, this beautiful beast of American tank. Hoorah, Marines, or is that how you say it? But still, we are taking a look at this awesome, beautiful beast. Guys, I can't tell you how long I've always wanted to get my hands on this. I know it came out with gold a few times, I think. I could be wrong. um, and it also came out as where you could buy the tank as well as standard. Uh, I've never really got around to buying it, but now I basically got it for free. Well, actually, yeah, I would have gotten it for free because it was on the free side of the season. So we're gonna go over some of the stats of this tank here in the garage, and also take it out into the battlefield, see how she performs, and she is pretty strong in a lot of regards, especially if she's, top tiered. She can be very strong, especially with hull down tactics, and you're just showing your turns and stuff like that. But you know, let's just hope and see what happens in a battlefield. So let's get ready to start. So with your standard ammunition, you get 218 meters of penetration. With your premium rounds, you get 265 meters of penetration, and with your HE, it gets about 53 meters of penetration. Damage is 320 for both your standard and premium rounds, and 420 for HE. Hit points is 1,500. Max speed is 36 miles per hour. View range is 388, and concealment is 404. Not bad for a very much a heavy tank with a, what kind of gun is this? 105. And this thing gets a 3 to 4, a 4-shot auto load, right? I believe so, yes. Some of these are probably going to miscorrect me. Okay, 3-shot right there, okay. Well, we'll find that out in a little bit, I guess. But equipment I put on this vehicle, I always put this on a lot of my tanks. Damage from enemy weapons is 5% less, so you're taking 5% less damage from enemy weapons. So it's really good to have this, especially against, those big guns at tier 10. If you get into a tier where you're not top tiered and you're in a tier 10 game and you're finding yourself fighting against like Ruthruses and Death Stars, Ship Barns, and Jaegeroos, and Storm Tigers, weather tanks that does 1,000 or damage at tier 10. I don't know what other tank does 1,000 or damage, but still, it's 5% less. Yes, not a huge amount, but at least it's 5% less than what those tanks can dish out at you. Though those tanks can deal about 1,000 or damage as long as they pin their shot. Yes, not very healthy. But my other thing is gun stabilizer vehicle movement accuracy is 20%, and turn rotation accuracy is 20%, which getting that accuracy up is really good, in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong. um, I guess you could also say reload time is also important as well, but yeah. Next is improve ventilation. Crew performance is 5% more, which is, pretty good. But if I would have to drop any of these, I probably would drop improved ventilations for advanced gun line drive, show aim speed is 12% more. Um, Anything else, I would say just be perfect. I mean, if you want to make this vehicle more speedy, with max speed, with the advanced powertrain, you get 5% more speed and 5% more in horsepower. So yeah, though depending on which way you want to go. But this is my build. You could copy the same build I'm using, or use a speedy build for this tank. Consumables, I use a premium repair kit, a premium um, med kit, and a premium fuel booster as well. Then I put about 31 rounds of AP shells, about 10 rounds of APCR, APCR, and 10 rounds of HE, because you never know when you're going HE. I mean, if I would drop anything, I would probably drop the HE to only like 3 shells or something like that, and keep 10 rounds of APCR, and raise this up just a little bit, but this is the way I like to go for. So yeah. Now let's go for the commander. Skills, I got 6 cents, which I know, I've said this in many videos, but I don't feel like using gold to change the six cents off the commander, where 6 cents is basically built into the game for every tank you play, for every commander you have. It's automatically there for you. So really, to be honest, you don't really need 6 cents to really, you know, be comfortable with the game. Anyway, 6 cents does have a little bit of a delay before you actually get spotted. So with the built-in already 6 cents, I would say not put 6 cents in. Do what tank says, not what tank do. um, but the other thing I put in is rapid loading, 10% increase to gun reload speed, which, you know, you want to get the gun firing as fast as you can. Next would be steady aim, 10% increase to accuracy, and then rapid aim, which is 10% increase to 10% increase to turret and gun rotation speed. Then also snapshot, which is 12% increase to accuracy during turn rotation, and Deadeye, which is 6% increase to chance of damaging enemy crew and modules with AP, ABCR, and heat shells, which would do very well if you're using just nothing APCR, but I wouldn't recommend that. That's going to cause a lot of creds. Again, I would avoid 6 cents. If I would take 6 cents out, I would trade in for General Mechanic, which is 10% increase to repair speeds of all damaged modules, which would really help you out, especially if you have a damaged track or a damaged engine or a damaged turn gun or turret ring. Anything damaged, this would definitely save your life. In a lot of sense, it would do it better than the 6 cents. Next, I would also, well, I do have it, the armor angle ring. 5% uh, decrease to damage received. So with this, 5% this and the 5% of the other thing. So that's basically, I could be wrong. Um, they're taking about 10% less damage from enemy weapons. But anything else besides general mechanic, I would say, oh, I would say quick leader, but in a way, I did say this, I believe, in my Panzer IV Hydra video, that it's a good perk. Don't get me wrong. But when you want to take it off your commander, you gotta spend gold to take it off. So is it really good to keep on your commander? More likely not. But if you do want to take it, you're going to deal with it, even if you do get your commander, maxed out with XP and stuff. Um, you're still, going to have this perk on there unless if you use gold to get rid of it. So I say no, don't use it unless you really, really want to. And if you do want to, just keep a note that you have to use gold after you're done using it to train it out for another perk. But if I would choose something else, I would choose Born Leader. 10% increase to skill, effectiveness, and crew performance, which is pretty good for all your crew, perks and all of that. But let's go over of the vehicle's armor, which it's a T32. Okay, this with the stock turret. Please correct me if I am wrong about that, but yes. So let's go over the armor. So we have 13 meters of armor, which is the belly of the tank, which is near the butt of the tank. We got 15, which is the just like space tracks on the side of the turret. 25.0, which is the tracks in the turret ring and the belly of the tank, and underneath the turret right there, as you can see where the ammunition would be stored. 25.4, which is the roof of the turret. 35, which is around the gun outlet there, and the cupola roof. 38, which is the engine deck and where a driver and machine gun porter sits. 45, which is the gun. 51, which is the side bits on the near the belly and around where the driver and machine gunner sits, and the butt of the tank. 56, which is the forehead of the tank as well. well, not as well, but it's the forehead. 76.0, which is the side of the tank, the side of the hull. 76.2, which is the sides of the turret, and it looks like the rear of the turret. That's what it looks like, yeah. The 95 meter thickness, which is the lower plate and where the machine gun port sits a little bit. 101, which is around the cupola, which is very surprising. 128, 128, 127, which is the upper plate and where the machine gun sits and around on the gun mantlet and the sides, the turret and the cupola itself. And then we have 203 meters thickness, which is the cheeks of the gun, the turret, the well, somewhat on the turret, gun mantlet as well, and in front of the turret. That's all I'm gonna say. 208, which is the gun mantlet itself, and 254, which is in the middle of the gun mantlet. So yeah, don't be shooting this thing in the gun mantlet, especially if it's showing its turret and you don't see that little weak spot. Do not shoot this thing in the gun mantlet. Do not. It like all American tanks. I mean, maybe if you're top tier, like a tier 10 or tier 9, you could, but with the tier 8s and 7s, not so good. This thing is pretty much, I wouldn't say invincible in the front. Now, once they start showing their hull, yeah, you could definitely shoot the little plate and more likely should able to pin this thing right away. But yeah, let's go ahead and go over the other few stats of the vehicle, which is these stats right here. Top forward speed is 36.75 miles per hour. Top reverse speed is 14.70 miles per hour. Horsepower is 704. Power to weight ratio is 12.60. Enter fire chance, which means how often you would be set on fire, is 20%. Hit points 1,500. All rotation speed is 25 seconds. Soft train resistance is 2.64. Medium train resistance is 1.47. Firm returning resistance is 1.08. Detectability range while detectability range while sitting still is 404.71, while moving is 424.86. Remember, this is a heavy tank, so it's not going to be very stealthy. View range is 388.17. Signal range is 761.02. And with your wonderful 105 gun, your turn rotation speed is 29.80 seconds. Accuracy during rotation is 0.85. Max elevation is 20. Max depression is 10. Reload time is 24.97. Remember, this is a auto loader with 3 shots, so that means that that's your reload. I mean, the only way you probably get that down is by using perks. That one thing I'll probably show you guys in a little bit here after we're done talking about the tank. So let's move on. Rate of fire is 6.01. Accuracy 100 meters is 0.33. Actually, during movement is 2.15. Aim time is 2.55. Shells per clip is 3. So you fire 1, 2, and 3. Entry clip reload is 2.50 seconds. You get 51 rounds in your tank. Of course, AP, APCR, HE. Damage per minute is 1,923, and we already talked about the pen, the damage, all of that. If you want to put the video on pause, go right ahead. And then next is, of course, the premium benefits due because this is a premium tank. But like I was saying about the reload time, if you could, and due because this is a auto loader, you can't carry this one piece of equipment that I love carrying in the majority of my tanks. Don't have it in this vehicle yet. It is this advanced loader, which is 10% less to your reload speed, which is pretty good for heavy tanks. I love putting this on all my tanks, though you can't put it on the autoloader. So do keep that in mind that this will shave off 10% less of your reload, but because that other the T32 Proto here is a autoloader, it doesn't carry it. So you're just going to deal with what you got with the perks as well. But yes, all of these perks, not all of them, but majority of them. The ones I said could help you with your reload, like this one, rapid loading, 10% increase to your reload 10% increase to gun reload speed, would really help out. I know it's not a equipment, but you know, I guess it's pretty fair for having a tank with a autoloader not having something like that. Um, that could be very dangerous. But let me know what you think about that. Um, but still, I gotta say this vehicle is tons of fun. I really enjoyed playing it as much as I have, and I guess enough for the jibber jabber the tank. Let's go out. We'll see what this tank can do in the battlefield. I guess I'll see you guys there. So, guys, we are back on Full Charge, whatever. It's gonna be a weird name to try to pronounce. But like I was saying in the garage, this tank is definitely worth it. If you grind through the season, even if you're a free-to-play player and you haven't bought any of the premium pass with actual money, and you got there to level 100, and you got this tank, I would say keep it. Even if you are only a World War II player, keep it. Even if you're not a World War II player, still keep it. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say to keep a premium tank. It doesn't matter what tier it is at. Just keep any premium tanks you get from a season or crates or anything, because in the long term, you never know. Like I've said, and I believe the full season information about this season, you just never know when the next season will come, if it's going to come with a tank that maybe you want, maybe you don't want it, or something like that. And if you don't want the tank that comes in one of the seasons, keep it, because then maybe you might get it out of a loot crate, which will give you gold and compensation. But yeah, but this tank, like I was saying, I have to say it's a nice mix of a feeling of American heavies, due because of the turn and the gun depression, giving it that awesome mobility of American heavy tank. The speed, it's faster than some of the German heavies at tier 8. We just say that much. I could be probably getting some hate from Germans mains. But still, this tank is pretty nice in my regard, and it looks like we do get spotted by something. I like tank over there. Yeah. But also, do not go on a flank by yourself. The reason why not is very obvious, I guess you could say. It's the autoloader. If people realize what kind of tank this is, and realize you have 3 shots, they're going to count your shots. And when they count your shots, they're going to push. And because if they push, you're going to find yourself completely dead. So, yeah. But let's get our mind off of that, and let's go ahead and get back into the battle. And it looks like we're forming this IS-6. We do get spotted by something, and it looks like the new American Yo tanks. Of course, the tier 8 variation, I think that is. Plus, another American medium tank up there as well, with... No, right, that's it for now. I think there's other tanks up here. There's, I believe, a few other types of tanks. The IS-6 looks like it's taking the, well, low ground, and I'm taking the high ground. But it looks like that guy bounced off my tournament. Like, I put one good shot into him, luckily missed the other one, and we're looking for a shot into the Yo tank, and I don't even know where that shot went to. I don't even think I aimed at the right spot, but it looks like someone else hits my turned mantlet in the middle of the gun mantlet. As you can see right there, yeah. Someone hit in the middle. Should never hit there, but I don't think they had much of a choice of hitting anything else. So, yeah. But we're gonna go back up here in a few minutes and see if we can do some damage to this American Yo tank. And I'm trying to find the hull of that guy, bounce one shot off of him. Can we get a shot? He hits us, but I hit the dirt. No good. And I come out and actually get one good shot into him with his machine gun port. But sadly, he gets 2 good shots into me, which I know where he hit. He hit my lower plate because I was showing my lower plate a little bit too much to him. So, yeah. But it looks like we're about to reload again, and we want to find this Yo tank, American Yo tank. Are we going to find a good shot once we reload? We are put one shot until we hit his tracks. Not best, of course, because it's the new mechanic for them. But we do hit his fuel tank. Are we going to find another shot? Sadly, no. But he does put another good shot into me, and now I have to fall back and reload my gun. And at this point, I thought maybe, you know, this battle wasn't going to be as good. I have a specific way of how good battles can be for me to share with you guys, but maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later. But it looks like the enemy Yo tank disappeared. Here's the tier 7. I found one shot, I must have hit his upper plate. We actually pinned one shot, and then we damaged his tracks with the last shot, and now I'm letting my team, I know that I'm reloading. Always let your team know, especially if you're on an autoloader or a vehicle that takes a long time to reload, like a ship bomb, Death Star, or anything like that. No. So that they know how long the reload is going to be and stuff. And as you can see, they penetrate my lower plate there. No one shot my upper plate due because of the angling I've had, and pressing it already had. And they only shot my turret like 2 times, I believe. So just don't shoot the turret. If you find these things, wait for they to do something stupid, like showing the lower plate like I did. I believe this video right here does show you the strengths and the weaknesses of this vehicle. For one, we get spotted. That tank is short. Now that's not a strength about this vehicle, but looks like we put one shot. Are we gonna put another shot? Another shot, and we got one shot left. But I decided to go for reload, so that way I can have a full magazine and stuff like that. And I'm worried about getting, you know, spotted by something else over there. There could be another sneaky tank destroyer, which there is 2 of them on the enemy team. But it looks like we are clear for the gun. And at this rise, there was someone over here near town. So I'm going over here, knocking out all these trees, but I shouldn't have done that. It looks like we have, well, American medium tank come out of nowhere using rockets against us. I fired 2 shots, killed him, but go for the reload because, again, I want to make sure I have a full magazine. And if we do realize there's something up here, but he shoots me. I think he was trying to aim for my Kaboa, but he completely missed and went for my gun outlet. So, oh, whatever. It's the what's that thing called? Wolfenstein. We put one good shot into him. We rammed him, and then we fired and cleared the victory. That's right. 1, 2, 3. I guess you could say that, right? Honestly, I gotta say, like I said, this vehicle is definitely worth it. But that's gonna be it for this one there, guys. I hope you guys really did enjoy it. If you guys did, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys want to. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye for now.